Hello everybody, my name's Drew and welcome back to Sky Factory 3. How's it going, guys? It has been a hot moment since I have played this game with you guys. But just because there hasn't been as many episodes out, doesn't mean that I'm not playing. Let's take a look at the world, y'all. Let's start right here, actually. So I've been working on some cosmetic stuff that we're actually going to be working a little bit more on today. But let's take a look. So the outer casing for the mob farm is actually nearly done. The black scaled Ethereum plate is all on, minus some of the stuff on the bottom that I was like, yeah, I don't really care filling that in. It's on the bottom, and I would like to be able to get easily to some of these parts, so no big deal. And the actual decorative parts around the edge are starting to take shape. And building it like this actually led me to a discovery. I needed to make this a little longer. In fact, I'm going to probably make it one longer further, just so it's fully symmetrical. But at the same time, maybe not. Maybe not. I don't know. I actually kind of like it like this. It looks kind of cool with them ending off at the end there. I just need to finish flattening out this end and, of course, relighting this new layer at the back here. So that'll get done. But let's talk about how this is looking. I think this looks really cool because it looked kind of like bone brick, but actually this is living rock brick. But it gives me the texture that I was actually kind of looking for. And eventually all of these are going to have this. I wanted to do liquid XP coming out of it, but obviously you can't put liquid XP placed in the world unless I like console commanded in, or not console commanded, like creative mode placed just a source block of liquid XP in the world. So that's not going to work because that's not what we do around here. So instead I went ahead and put on the liquid ender, and I think that looks really cool. It doesn't interfere with anything, and oh yeah, you can sort of see what's going on down there. Don't worry, we'll talk about that. I think it looks really cool, but the thing is, how are we going to connect the top layer with this layer? Like, how am I going to do that? Well, we're going to build a machine today that will maybe help us out with that. Other than that, what else have I been working on? Well, if you guys have sort of been following along, I may or may not have built the world's fastest kitchen in the last few episodes, and the story of that sort of continues as well. Most of this is now just cosmetic work, much like upstairs, but I digress. Let's take a look. So you come on into the kitchen. Yeah, more or less where we were before. We're going to need more stuff for sure. Like, I actually have no idea what's in this even. Hold on, we're gonna take one of no, I'll leave that there for now, I guess. I want to know what's actually on there though, because I wonder what it is. It must be like eggs or something that is taking up all of our goddamn space. But I can't speak. At any rate, this is looking nice. It's all clean, and we have plenty of room for expansion. And over here, I have started putting in void upgrades. The farms are continuously running, but there's no backlog. So for some conceivable reason I ran out of one of these items, we're not going to have an output jam where I have to go manually sort everything. Ooh, I'm yawning like a son of a gun today. Yeah, so that's coming along. I like how that's going. Let's take a look at this guy. So this is all kind of the same, but I've closed into this guy now with some fancy glass. And the greenhouse itself is actually taking shape. Now, this is a very, very large greenhouse, but I mean, we have trees in it. So I wanted to give enough height that it wouldn't interfere with the tops of the trees with the glass. And I think it looks really nice. It does very much look like a long greenhouse kind of building, especially with the white walls and the copper green roof. I think that was a really cool touch that I'm going to work on making a little better. I also want to perhaps put more windows on this thing, because it does feel kind of like a big box. But from inside, I don't mind it. I think it looks really good given its size. The green roof, like I said, does add a really lovely accent to it. And I think we'll end up capping this for now. So I'm just going to put another wall across here, because it will be very easy for us to just keep extending this in the future if we need it. But I don't think we're going to need to do that for quite some time if we even bother. So I do need to fill all of this in, but the problem is I need greenhouse glass. And greenhouse glass is expensive to make, so I've been working on doing that kind of over here. So this guy has been working full-time making palace crystals for us, and we're getting good. We're getting real close to actually having like a full load again to make enough glass to finish that guy off, because it does require quite a lot of that to do this. But anyway, let's talk about what's going on over here as well. So I've added another farm section here. It has nothing on it yet, but I'm going to be adding more diamonds to this because we do need more diamonds. And if I can collect more diamonds and keep our supply, if you remember, over 20,000, then all of the excess diamonds will start becoming blocks, which is great because we, quite frankly, need a shit ton of blocks. This has kind of had no progress, and I really want to touch on that today as well if we got time. The last little update is a bit of automation to Botania because of the volume of living rock that I needed. And I thought, well, how can we actually get a proper volume of living rock without me just sitting here doing things by hand? So I made something kind of cool. Check it out. This system has but one purpose. This converts stone to living rock using refined storage. This is a really, really slick way to do this and very, very easy to set up. You've just got a layer of constructors and deconstructors with filters set to stone brick and living rock. And then all you got to do is dump stone brick in here, or regular stone, smooth stone. So let's go grab some smooth stone. And you guys will see this bad boy in action. It is actually really cool to watch work. So let's go stone. Oh, I did not click on the right box. Stone. Sure, we don't need that much living rock, but I don't really care that much. Now, if you wanted to do the same thing for dirt, all you got to do is mirror this. And I think I may end up doing that anyway, just so that I have the ability to, on demand, create quite a lot of, or living wood rather, not dirt. Do the same thing with the living wood, because living wood is also obviously time and consuming to create. But let's take a look at this. So if I take all of those, and let's shift double click in that guy, 624, you can see that instantly, this just goes, okay, and boop, puts all of these guys in there, and in about a minute or so, we're going to see pretty much all at the same time, it's just going to go, okay, and change. That's really, really great for automation. It's localized as well. It's all self-contained. It just has a tesseract powering it down here, a transdimensional receiver, providing power for the whole unit. So again, if we did want to mirror this, it would be a really simple operation to do. And I may end up actually doing that as well, because why not? We do want to be able to have stuff on demand. Space concerns are going to be a thing, though. So you will need some more space in this, but we're only really using it for placeholders. So you don't really need to fill this whole guy up with a lot. A single 64K drive should do you, unless you want to make a really high volume of stuff, which in that case, by all means, use a whole drive bay of 64K storage, because you'll probably want it. But there you go. So you can see instantly it goes transform and just starts hoovering it up, and we get ourselves more living rock. That is fantastic. But let's turn ourselves instead to the question of how do you link this right here to this right here? How do you do it? What's the secret? And my secret is going to be, I think we're going to make a sphere. If I make a sphere shape, that should encompass all of that. Emphasis on should, but how does one make a sphere in Minecraft? It's hard enough making circles. I mean, making circles even anyway. Like, this looks pretty good. But how do you make a sphere? Well, there used to be an item called the Builder's Guide as part of Extra Utilities, but it is oddly enough missing from this iteration of Extra Utilities. I guess the mod dev just decided not to put it in anymore. So what do we use? Well, a little scouring on the internet has introduced me to the RF Tools Builder. So we're going to build one of those and take a quick peek at what that actually is going to do for us. It should do a lot. Let's go Builder. Now, I probably want that guy, the builder block. Really easy to make. You just need a machine frame, some bricks, and redstone and an ender eye. Ooh, or ender pearl, rather. Okay, make a machine frame. All right, let's take a look at this guy. I have no idea how this actually works. So we're going to plop this down. And I probably need to be in the, quote, center of where I want to go, but let's take a look. Okay. Builder at northwest corner, east, south, east. Okay. Interesting. Do a single run and stop, copy. Now, how do we actually, support preview mode disabled. Okay. Rotation angle. Okay. So let's take a look at our manual then. Move a structure from one spot, even another dimension to another. Rebuild a structure from one spot to another. Swap structures, build geometrical shapes. That's what we want. Clear areas in a certain shape. That's actually cool. Void boxes. Geometrical shapes. Collect items and XP in an area. Pump liquids. So the builder appears to do quite a number of different things, but how do we actually do it? A twister tank on top or below is sometimes needed to supply. Silent, support mode, create preview box. Entity also moves entity. That's cool. Interesting. Okay, so how do we actually get shapes for moving, swapping, copying structures? I just want to make shapes. That's what I want. Right selecting controller block with a wrench will remove it. Put a card in the builder, set the right mode and other parameters. So we need a card. Okay, so we need a card. Let's take a look at that then, because I'm sure we'll be able to make something. So if we look at cards, what do we got? Space chamber card. Sneak right, space chamber, right click, controlled areas. Shape card. That's probably what I want. Shape is a solid box, but I bet you can change it. So let's make this guy. Now, how does one actually do things? Sneak right clicking on the builder, start mark mode. Then right click to mark two corners of a wanted area. This item is configured as a shape. You can then use it as a shield projector to make... Oh, you can do shields with this too. Solid box. Solid sphere. Aha. Aha. So if we take this guy and we put it in that. Preview. It gives me nothing. Interesting. Okay. Shape card, solid sphere. Can we... Okay. Okay, hold on. Oop, not what I wanted to do. Let's prop you there. And shape cards there. So let's select... Okay, so that's how that's going to go. I see. Actually, that would work pretty much perfectly for what I want. I just want to make this one larger in one dimension. Let's make it larger in every dimension. So we're going to go 6. Oh, I can't tab between them. Hold on, 6, 6, and 6. Let's see where that gets us. There it is. So 6, 6, and 6 gives us that. But we want to offset it. Can I offset you? Evidently I cannot. Interesting. So 5 might be the best way to do it. I just need to locate a spot. Okay. Let me mess around with this for a few minutes, guys, and we'll come back and see if I can actually figure out how to make this damn thing. So I shall see you guys in a hot moment. Well, it does work. I figured out the offset to make everything kind of sync up there, and it looks real good. Except I can't figure out how to make it auto build. So slight problem. Oh, that didn't kill you automatically. There you go. So that's okay. It's actually really easy to build it once you know the pattern. We're gonna finish this guy off. So one of the things that I was looking at doing too, while I'm doing this, is a little bit of automation for our reactor build, just for quality of life. Realistically speaking, we don't need much more than that, but we do need something that's going to make it easier for us to construct stuff in large quantities, much the same way that we did with the diamond blocks. We're going to want... Hold on, let me fix this guy. We're going to want to be able to make reactor glass casings and other stuff in generally what would be considered disgusting quantities. Not so much the casings anymore, because I think we're pretty good, but reactor glass, oh boy, yeah, we need a lot of reactor glass. We're also going to need some control rods, but that's easy enough because we don't necessarily need a large quantity. We just need to be able to match them to to those guys. Now, I guess that sort of depends on your definition of large quantity, because this many reactor control rods and reactor fuel rods would definitely qualify as a large quantity under most definitions. So we're going to need to be able to build a lot of these very quickly and easily, and I think the best way to do that is with some simple automation that we're going to take a bit of a crack at. But let's finish off building this guy. This actually looks really nice, by the way. I like the way that looks. It very much looks like it's got almost like bone, if that makes sense. But I think what we're going to do to make this make a little more sense is we're going to have like that. Yeah, that actually looks really good. Let's pop down that guy so nothing spawns on us. But yeah, once you sort of know where things are going, it is pretty easy to do. So let's pop this guy off here real fast. And I'll show you what I was talking about. So, unfortunately, like I said, I haven't figured out how to make this auto craft. So I want to go right here. But that's okay, because it's not exactly complicated to build this. So all I did was go northeast corner, and you can see that it automatically places down sort of these guide blocks that they have going on, which is handy, to say the least. We can go like that, and we'll just cap this guy off. Now, the inside is a little more interesting. I was going to fill it with these living wood block or living rock blocks, but instead I have been filling it with Mortarian blocks, because it's just a little easier to do. Get out of here. I don't want you right now, because that's easy enough to do. It's just using that to get started is kind of the best method, and then you can program to your heart's content. So now that we have a separator, I made the mistake of trying to fill in the middle part without actually going all the way to the end, and it kind of fucked things for me. But now that everything goes all right to the end, all we got to do is give it a couple clicks and it fills itself in. One like that. We'll cap it on this end with this. And then I can go down the other end and give it another little whack with the with this guy, and we're good to go. Ta-da! Look at that. Look at that. That just looks great, especially once we do this. Man, I'm really happy with how this build went. And it's continuing to go. Because that does kind of look like ribs. I'm toying with extending the bottom portion of the downspouts down further. I think I like that better. It gives it a little bit more size and makes it look a little more like it actually like is hanging off of it, not just kind of like stuck in the side of it. Like these kind of look like they're still stuck there with no real purpose, but this actually looks like it's draining that down and out. And I think it looks really, really good. I think that looks really, really good. Now, automation. Let's talk automation. So we need to have a way to trigger certain things, or we can just do a straight up crafting recipe in a crafter and just tell it to make like 10,000 of it or something like that. But I think it's easier to let a sort of set and forget system work. And it's going to be a little harder to do. But I think the best way to do this is going to be, well, let's take a look. Because we need, so say we want to make reactor glass. How does one make reactor glass? Well, we're going to need quite clear glass, a regular glass, and a reactor casing. And I can teach our system here. So let's go over here. Let's get rid of that. I don't need you in there. So say I need that. So we need a reactor case core. We'll teach it about that, and we're going to teach it how to make reactor casings. And I could teach it how to make casing glass. Bam. So there we go. So we have these three things. So I could just as easily throw all of this and just grab, I want that, I want 10,000 of it. And then it'll automatically craft that. But that's going to eat up compute cycles in our crafter. Not necessarily a bad thing when we're doing nothing like kind of right now, but if we're working on other things and we'd like to auto craft stuff like, tesseracts or tesseract. I always call it tesseract. You guys know what I mean when I say tesseract. If we're trying to make one of those transdimensional receivers / tesseracts, it'll get lost in our production queue. It won't craft. So how then can we get around this? Well, I'm having a brainwave on that, And I think the best way to go about it is going to be having an autocraft system set to a detector with the final output product. So in our case, we want to make 10,000 glass. And we're going to, I see, it's very complicated to do this. I think because we don't necessarily need to have 10,000 casings on us or something like that, it might actually be better to do it the old-fashioned way. So what I was thinking, though, for automation, we're going to test this. We're going to test it out. We're going to grab a couple chests. And we're going to need a crafter. Actually, what we should do, because what's needed for this? Because for reactor glass, we need casings and glass. So glass is an easy thing to do because we have an automatic system for glass. We can just dump the glass out into a chest. So let's grab a couple chests. Chests. All right, cool. So we got to sell some chests. Let's go on over here. And for giggles, we're going to put things like here. And this one I'm going to move a little bit further away because I'm going to have to put a couple of different things onto it. This one's real easy. All we need to do for this one is just have an output for glass. That's super simple, thankfully. This one, because this is going to be going for, say, the reactor glass, we need the components to go into here to make reactor casings. And so reactor casings, let's take a look at the reactor casing itself. We need several different items. We're going to need a casing core. So we need a system to make the casing core. So we need to input iron, graphite, redstone. This actually might not be doable. I'm trying to think more along the lines of Factorio, and it might not be doable the way I'm thinking about doing. But basically what would happen would be glass gets dumped in here. They're all hooked up to the same trigger switch, by the way, is my idea. So everything would be triggered off of our need for reactor glass. We have no reactor glass, so it'll automatically have a detector go out. What we might have to do is have several different items and different way stations all hooked to the same thing, responsible for making each step of the part. So where do I want to make this? I guess we will make it over here. So let's grab, because I've got power and everything, don't I? Is this a wireless charger? It's a relay. That's wireless. How many connections have you got? You know, we'll make it work. So this guy over here, I'm going to knock this out for a second. Hold on. Okay, that's going to be our reactor glass. This can be that guy. And we want to be able to go, so say... this is complicated. Let's grab some crafters as well. Crafter. Yeah, tier 1s should be okay because they don't get any faster. So we've got a crafter for our final product, because what's going to go into this guy is going to be glass and reactor casing. So we're going to have two different exporters on that guy. And we're going to need, so let's go grab some exporter buses. Export. Yep, we got two exporters. Like so. Exporter. Exporter. And then we're going to have a detector under each of them. Detect. Or we can just do one. No, we'll go. No, we'll go one on each. We'll make sure that this is actually gonna ratio properly. Detector. Two of those. Start. Thank you. So yeah, so I don't want our system to get clogged up. Is sort of my whole logic in all of this. We'll put that one there, and we're gonna say whatever we want for those. That'll be glass. That'll be reactor casings. So how are we gonna get reactor casings? Well, we're going to have another setup on the same frequency, so the same idea, but we're going to make this one for our other items. So this one's going to be this guy. Now, I wonder if you could do, actually, because this crafter only works with redstone signal, and is it set? Trigger auto crafting with, yeah. Oh, actually, we could set it up like this, trigger with auto crafting. Maybe that would be the way to go about this, actually. Maybe that would be the way to go about this. Okay. So let's grab a couple of crafters. This is going to be an experiment and a half, y'all. Crafters. Let me grab 3 crafters here. Start. And the nice thing is we should be able to... Oh, I don't know if I actually manually craft those. Interesting. Because they're not actually... Like, if I look and go crafter patterns, and that it's going to be for printed. Now, if we look at craftables, are printed circuits actually on there? Basic processors. Yeah, okay, cool. So they are on there. But they auto-craft just based on a redstone. So if I go crafters, where are my crafters at? And just do like this. We'll just go uno, dos, and tres. And then this one will be that one, and that one. And they're all in their own things, and we're going to grab one more detector. Gotta wrap this up soon. Detector. One more. There it is. Okay, so the detectors are going to go 1, 2, 3, but they're all going to be set to reactor glass. So if it detects that this guy is under, if reactor glass is under a certain amount, it'll activate all of these and just start pumping all of them into the system and output reactor glass as the output. But only if there's not 10,000 of reactor glass. So if I go reactor glass, ooh, I don't have, oh, because it's not, I'm on craftables, aren't I? Yes, I am. Okay, reactor glass. And we're going to say, hey, for all of these. And then I'm going to say if it's, I'm going to signal when it is less than, say 10,000. 10,000. And we can copy this over to all of them so that they're all operating on the same idea. And the last one. There we go. Now let's hook it up to our setup. We need cabling, which I'm sure I'm a little shy on, of course. Make me some of that. Please and thank you. Thank you. And the nice part will be we won't even need to power any of this. It'll just kind of work. Well, I mean, I guess we are powering it, but there you go. So this guy is now automatically crafting reactor glass. And we should see, does it actually get put, I should just get put back into the network. I want you to go when it is less than that. There you go. So these guys are now pumping out all of those things. If we look at our stuff and go for reactor glass, it should be completing. It's not. Oh, I bet you I know why. Because it needs to be set to trigger auto crafting with redstone. And only work with redstone signal. That way they're not just going to go. They'll actually do their thing. And yes, for all of them. So now if we go reactor. Hey, look at that. It actually works. We're going to want speed upgrades because we want to make these perform much faster. So let's go speed. And let's make 10 more of those. We'll put one of these in each for now. Just to speed her up. Come on. There we go. So now if we look for reactor glass, hey, that's starting to get faster. And as a side product, we'll end up with more reactor casings. But as soon as it hits our upper limit, it'll stop. We could set up conceivably something similar to this. But I like this setup over here. This works just fine for our purposes. This will work just as well for us as a system. So we can do this for our other setups as well. So if we need more, say, we're definitely going to need more of these. So we'll actually set this to our final amount. When I can do actually like count these out and figure out how many we need. And I'll just set it up and it'll just make it. Or I'll just put the recipe for these guys in that boy and we'll be done. But yeah, that's how that's going to work, because as we do other things and as I fly around and finish this guy off, this is actually taking a lot longer than I thought it would, but it's going to look sweet when it is finished. It also needs to be lit up, so there's that. Thank God it's daytime all the time. And of course we need to finish this. So I got a lot of work to do. There's a lot of things that we need doing still. There's still the achievement book to go through. Like we need to find out how to harvest the Ender Dragon. Maybe we'll work on that next episode, because we really do need to harvest the Ender Dragon for quite a number of things, because I would like to actually upgrade all of these to a tier 3 growth crystal if we possibly can. And that's going to require a bit of finagling to do. And let me tell you, that's going to be a challenge and a half, but I think we are up to that challenge, guys. At any rate, I think this is going to be a great spot to top the episode off. If you liked it, you guys know what to do. Please go ahead, leave a like. You can always find other work I've done in the description box below. And of course, thank you guys oh so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Have a great day. Bye-bye.